What's up, everybody? Welcome to the No Scrubs Allowed podcast. How's it going, Seal?
It's going, man.
We are we're just watching some sports, but there is not much going on to talk about. As much similar to last week, it's going to be kind of the same stuff. But I did want to say the MLS's back tournament is down to the final. Congratulations, Portland and Orlando. They'll be facing off on Tuesday, so that will finally come down to an end. Maybe the hometown team Orlando can do something. To be fair, I haven't really watched as much of it as I was before LAFC went out, but it's nice to see Orlando doing well.
It's crazy. I hope they're able to shock the nation and come out on top in this tournament.
Yeah, I definitely don't want Portland to win that crap.
Yeah, same. And my coworker is a Portland fan, and they're still up on a high horse for whatever reason. Consistency is key, I guess, to never finish on top, but always finish near the top. But yeah, so I just want Portland to lose to Orlando.
Yeah.
Best team to beat them. It would be great. I'm excited for that.
Yeah, hopefully that happens. But yeah, just continue to head over to noscrubsallowed.com. Check out the write-ups. There will be one more write-up after the championship on Tuesday, so check that out. So hearkening to your jersey, kind of, not the actual Jaguars, but if you're from Jacksonville or around Jacksonville, you'll understand that basketball's never been hotter than the Phoenix Suns. Yeah. So, and now you can't even do that because they're the Jacksonville Jumbo Shrimp, right?
Go basketball first?
Yeah. I just want to talk about the hot Suns, man. The Suns are still killing it, and it's awesome, man. We're recording early on Sunday, but if Memphis and Portland both lose today, then Phoenix is right there, tied with Phoenix or with Portland for that last spot. So it's very possible that we could be there. I doubt that Portland loses to the 76ers today, but it is possible. And I would have never thought that, man. But it's also possible that we could go 8-0 and not make the playoffs. So
yeah. But that's absolutely amazing that you guys really are controlling your own destiny. A lot of young guys, that's been the MO probably since they stepped foot in Orlando. Let's just go out and control our own destiny. We weren't even supposed to be here. Nobody wants us here. Everybody's making fun that we're here. It's pointless for us to be here. Let's go out and make a point and show them that we deserve to be here and we're one of the best teams in this bubble. And let's make everybody else send us home. We're not going to be the ones that send us home. And that's what they've been doing. Book, showing up, lights out, money shots at the end games.
Yeah.
Coming out, crucial points, even though slumping it up, come out, hit 3 threes back to back, get the team back in control against the Clippers. I mean, doing what they need to do to win at all costs. It's been crazy to see that Heat game. Heat been rumbling, playing best defense I've seen in a long time in the NBA, and weren't able to stop the Suns and ended up putting over 100 on them.
Yeah, and we saw it. We're playing a little bit of a smaller ball now. Lineup. Cam Johnson has come into the starting lineup instead of Dario Saric, and he's looked pretty good. I was skeptical, obviously, when we reached, or what I thought was a reach to grab him in the draft, but he's doing well. He's able to hit some threes. His three-point percentage is one of the tops on the team, so it's able to stretch out the floor and let Ayton do more. So even though Cam Johnson's stats might not be what Ja Morant or Zion or those guys are, he's spreading the floor and helping out and playing defense as well, which is really nice.
And he's starting to get comfortable and show a little bit of flash and good looks, but it's just spurts right now, it seems to be from him. A lot of good looks, good takes, good thought, but not good finish.
Yeah, he'll get there, but I'm happy not to knock on your team or anything, but I'm happy that we were one of the teams invited, because whether we make these playoffs or not, these 8 games are huge for guys like Bridges and Cam Johnson and those guys. So I'm excited to see them getting playing time and get playing time and wins, which is awesome. And Monty Williams came out and said, "This is our team." Everyone's surprised. Like, we're not surprised. The Suns are not surprised. That was his quote, not me. I mean, I'm a little surprised, but that's what he said is this is who we are. And we saw it at the beginning of the season, the regular season. We were like 9-1 in our first 10 games or something, but obviously fell off. Do you think this Suns core, obviously there's players coming in and out every year, but this core of Suns, do you think we could actually be a team in a regular 82 game season to make it all the way through and make the playoffs without falling off?
For sure. I mean, core, I'm guessing Rubio's going to be there for a little bit, and we
He should
got
be.
Booker and Ayton. So them three, you should be able to build on that and do some damage in the playoffs. I'm not sure if them three are going to get you a ship with the lack of just defense
Right.
with those three. But yeah, if you can build around them three, maybe get a dominant defensive four in there to help Ayton in the paint, maybe get more of a ball scoring point guard and take some of the pressure off of Book, because Rubio, you might get 12 points out of Rubio on 5 shots, but you're not going to get too much more than that. You guys are good for 100 points a game. It's just, can you stop the other team from getting 120?
Yeah, which has been a problem for the whole 9 years that we haven't made the playoffs. So I'm not sure about that. But one guy who in our core needs to stay, and Devin Booker, and he was the topic of TNT. And I'm going to ask you, obviously, just to cap this off, Draymond Green was on the panel because Shaq's not on there for whatever reason. So it's with Ernie, Kenny, and Chuck, we have Draymond. And he said that Book needs to get off Phoenix. He's in a bad spot. And he got fined for tampering. Now, 2 sides to that. 1, do you agree with that fine? But then 2, if that's the case, this TNT show can't get current players on here, because those are the things that Shaq would have said. And obviously it's not tampering for Shaq. So Draymond was just filling that void. So what do you think about that fine?
I don't really like it. I mean, we were talking once when he said it, and you kind of freaked out.
Yeah, I'm mad, man.
And,
don't try to put things
as
on
a Suns fan, and that's your guy. So I get that, but he's not trying to get him to come to his team, because I mean, they talk about it after every single game. These players, why don't you come down to Miami? Let's link up in Miami. That was going on LeBron's whole last year in Cleveland and OKC. Yeah, hey, listen, y'all beat us, and I'll come to Golden State. All right, that's what KD was. That they say this every game. So Draymond didn't come out saying he needs to come to Golden State. He just said he needs to get out of Phoenix. Being a commentator, doing the job that he's put there to do at this point in time, I don't like the fine. I don't like that he is getting in trouble for saying that just get out of Phoenix, just stating his opinion, not saying, hey, man, come to Golden State, come to the shooters. We're shooters, shoot. He's not saying anything like that. He's not trying to recruit him to the Bay Area, to San Francisco. But so I don't like the fine. It's only $50K. $50K to him is probably a couple bucks in his back pocket. So it's not too bad. But yeah, like you said, it's really going to be hard for this TNT show to get these guys on here to replace Shaq and Chuck when they don't show up, just because they're going to have to keep their mouth closed and just talk about the game of basketball and nothing else. No speculations, no what could have beens, because you're going to get money taken out of your pocket. And right now, these players really want their monies because they don't know how much is going to get taken from them if we don't have a season or whatnot.
Are the teams that aren't in the bubble still getting a full check?
I believe so. I don't see why they wouldn't.
Okay.
I mean, the salary, I don't know the NBA salary. I know in the NFL, these guys get their game checks. They get 16.
Well, I know that they get game checks as well, and they were saying that if you opted out of the bubble, you weren't going to get your game checks. But the teams that aren't even in the bubble, it's not their fault. So I'm sure he's getting paid, and I don't know how that's working out, though. But
yeah, I have no idea either.
I agree that he shouldn't have been fined. I obviously get defensive as the Suns fan, but he didn't say anything, like you said. And even if he did say that he should come to Golden State, I feel like that's the worst spot that Booker would go, because then he'd be a bench warmer. So, like, I don't think they would run 3 guard sets all the time. So I don't think that's what the case is. And it goes all the way back to whenever Doc Rivers was asked about Giannis, and Giannis was like, Doc was like, who wouldn't want to have Giannis on their team? And he gets fined. Like, those type of fines should not happen, because obviously who wouldn't like to have Giannis? That's just a statement. So
yeah, it's more of a, because we love Adam Silver here. No negative to say about that guy. I don't think he's just trying to take money out of players' pockets. I feel like he's just trying to maintain a status quo of don't talk players in
Right.
public places, don't in any aspect, and he's standing by it, and I don't like it. I think it's a waste of money coming out of these players' pockets, especially when the guy's a host of a basketball analysis show.
Right.
He's doing his job at the point in time, and he's getting fined. So be tuned for the short answers coming from Draymond for the rest of the bubble,
Yeah.
and not too much speculation coming from him about players anymore, which I doubt he'll listen to. He will probably take another fine or two because that's Draymond, and he says what he has to say. I loved whenever he first got there and him and Chuck had to talk and squash their differences.
Yeah, I like when he's on there. He's a good replacement for Shaq. I wish Shaq was on there, obviously, but
Oh, yeah. How do you feel about seeing these guys? We're seeing all these celebrities in the bubble. Shaq made an appearance.
in the bubble, I didn't even see
Baby
that.
Giannis made an appearance on the screen. So we have
Oh,
thousands of millions
right.
of fans who aren't able to go to the games who would love to be on these screens. Lil Wayne was
Yeah,
on
but
there.
Little Wayne was sitting right next to an empty seat, so it's not like he's taking people's spots. You know, they're just. I'm sure the league is reaching out to these guys, making sure that they log in. And I'm not sure. I was gonna get on the one yesterday for the Suns game, but the Heat were the home team, so I couldn't do it. But now, of course, they're gonna play games when I'm at work again, so I probably won't be able to do it. But there's empty seats on there, so I don't know how it's working. I'm sure there's enough people trying to get in, and from what I read, it seems easy enough. So I don't know if the NBA just isn't letting everyone that's attempting to get in, or what's going on. But I don't mind it too bad because, like I said, there's empty seats.
Yeah.
And to go back to Booker, so luckily for us, as long as he doesn't pull an Anthony Davis, he is signed through 2024. So I doubt that he's going anywhere. And if we haven't made the playoffs by 2024, then, he deserves to ask to get out.
And
But
I don't see him. I feel like he loves being the guy. I mean, there's nobody on that team that's even close to him.
yeah, but you don't want to be the guy for a lottery team every single year. So.
Yeah, but he hasn't. It doesn't seem like that's really affected him. He's just continuing to play ball. Nothing too much coming out of distress or anything.
But it will. He does get mad that he's not voted to all-star teams, and a lot of that is thanks to Phoenix and thanks to losing. So if he continues that, I know he was on the all-star team as an injury replacement this year, but if he continues to not get that kind of love, he might think about it.
Well, maybe him and Bradley Beal could team up and start winning some games and some all-star appearances.
Yeah. I mean, if Towns wants out, Towns could come over, but I don't know how him and Ayton would play together because I know that they were Kentucky teammates and they had already talked about joining up, but going to Minnesota wouldn't help Booker either. So I don't think that's what's going to happen. But, I mean, I'll take Towns. I'll run a Towns, Ayton, big
that would
hours
be
because they're both athletic and can walk or bring the ball out to about 15 feet. At least Towns can go all the way back out to 3. So I think that would be huge, but I don't see that coming either. But, yeah, Ayton's not going – or Booker's not going anywhere, at least for a few years. He's making over $30 million for 4 more years. So
who do you think leaves first, Booker or Ayton?
It depends. I mean, if we start winning, I don't think either one's going. If we're not gonna be winning, we'll probably trade Ayton. I don't think either one's gonna walk. If we had to do anything, it's gonna be a trade because we'd try to get more money. And I think Ayton would be better to trade for us as a business. But I don't think either one of them are leaving. I really don't. I think we won't make the playoffs this year, but I think if we can have a full year next year with another good pick, maybe sign a veteran 3-and-D kind of guy, I think we could make a run next year to at least make the playoffs. And at that point, you give extensions to people and you stick around. So
yeah, don't be like the Cavs. We're literally running it back with the same team next year.
They'll figure something out. They'll get somebody.
I think it's about time to get rid of Kevin Love, but he wants to stay a Cav. I want him to stay a Cav. He's just not going to be able to win or do anything else with us.
Yeah, and Drummond wants to stay there. So
yeah, well, Drummond just wants his 25. He's not going to get 25 anywhere else. So
not that he wants to stay
that
there.
this
Yeah,
last year. Yeah, he'll be here this final year of his contract and then go and make $8 million somewhere
You'll draft LaMelo Ball. You'll go sign Reggie Jackson, and you'll just play.
I do not want to draft LaMelo. I'm sick of getting all these guards.
I know. That's all you guys get.
I'm over it. I'm fine with Darius Garland and Colin Sexton. Put Colin at the 2 because he's a black hole. He doesn't know how to pass the ball around and swing it.
Right.
So do not no LaMelo.
I don't know what's going on. I don't know what's going on with the draft. I don't even know these people. We didn't get to watch March Madness. I don't know James Wiseman. I never watched him play. I don't even know. Did he play? Wasn't he sitting for investigation stuff? I don't even know if he did play.
I know about LaMelo. That's it. But there's just apparently there's supposed to be 2 picks before him, but I know LaMelo.
Yeah. I know of James Wiseman, but I have no clue even what position he plays or anything like that. So who knows?
No, I had didn't watch any basketball this year. Too busy working.
There was barely any basketball anyway. So, All right. Well, before we shift over to the NFL, let's take a break to talk about our sponsor, Manscaped. We're so happy that live sports are back, man. And in the NBA, it's coming closer and closer to a matchup between the Clippers and the Nuggets. But we have had that matchup in our personal life for quite some time now, since we're both pretty much 30. So Manscaped has partnered with us to make sure that your Nuggets are safe as possible when they are matched up against the Clippers. So go over to Manscaped, man. They're the best tools for your grooming experience.
For sure, and they have everything you need. And if you guys can tell, my face is getting a little here, and you can't really see it. I'm starting to look like a caveman up here. So you can imagine it's starting to look like a caveman down there. And baby girl has reminded me, hey, you need to use those clippers. Them things are absolutely amazing. I don't know why you are looking like that when it could be looking fresh as hell. So you need to tidy up. So like I said, they definitely know. And once you get this, they are going to remind you that you need to keep using it because it is the best thing on the face of the earth for your Nuggets.
Yeah, and it's really nice. These things are waterproof, or at least water resistant. I think they're called waterproof. I haven't just dunked it in the water, but
I didn't dunk it, but yeah,
that makes it easy to clean is the point I'm getting here. I mean, they have the ceramic blade, hair gets on it, but you can just run that bad boy under the water. It comes with a little brush thing, and you can pop, easy to go. It's easy to clean off, and it just doesn't snag. The hair doesn't get caught in it. Like I said, I used to have a razor that the hair would get caught all the time, and it would just make it even rougher to do anything with. So that's not the case here. Their Lawnmower 3.0 is the best hygiene tool. And of course, it's part of that perfect package that you can grab that comes with that trimmer. It comes with the boxer briefs that we've talked about a lot of times, and it comes with the travel bag for you to put all your stuff in. And it's really awesome. The perfect package is good stuff. It comes with that deodorant that Seal likes as well, and the spray, I believe.
Make sure you get an extra thing of that stuff if you're working, man. It works. It's only, I think it's a 6-ounce bottle. I just finished mine, got a new one coming in, so today's going to be rough in the kitchen.
Yeah, one of our listeners texted me the other day and just sent me a picture, not of his junk, but of the deodorant, and he was like, just got my second shipment of the ball cream. So
yes, that stuff is the real deal. If you are active in any way or work in humid environments to where your forest gets a little rainforesty, you have to use the deodorant. And if you forgot to use the deodorant, what's something else you can have on the go, Travi?
Well, you can have, obviously, in the perfect package, we have that spritzer we used to talk about. But I think if you're buying the perfect package, you should also buy those wipes. Third straight week, I'm going to talk about these wipes, man. They're good. They're good stuff, bro. I went out the other day and whipped them out. I almost wanted to go to the bathroom and make sure they were working, but I didn't. But I assumed they were. They feel good. And it's really nice. Those wipes, I personally like the wipes better than the spritzer. So I would say get the 3.0 and the wipes on the side because you get 20% off anyway. So what's the point? Go ahead and use that 20% towards the wipes. You will thank me later. But you can head over to manscaped.com and, like I said, get 20% off and free shipping with our code NOSCRUBS. That's all one word, no scrubs. So get 20% off and free shipping with the code at manscaped.com. Again, 20% off and free shipping. They want to really nail it in there. Using the code NOSCRUBS at manscaped.com. Take your grooming game to the next level. All right, Seal. The NFL is coming, man. It's a month away. We think it's coming. But
it's here. Not
it's
hearing much about it right now.
supposedly here, but again, haven't heard anything about it. And your boy Gardner Minshew, we did a little moratorium for him last week because he was on the COVID list, and he got off the COVID list in like an hour right after we got off the recording. So it looks like you're going to have your quarterback.
And now COVID's in quarantine for at least 2 weeks, baby. So good news, Minshew is back. Even better news, COVID is on IR. So you're welcome, America. You can go out again.
Yeah, and we don't know how the NFL is going to work. We know a lot of people are opting out, and there hasn't been any stories, at least that I've seen, because the teams are in training camp, and I haven't seen a lot of COVID spottings. So that's really good. I've seen a lot of people coming off that COVID pup list. So that's really helpful, and it looks like they're at least going to try to start and give it a go, and we'll see what happens.
Yeah, man, and it looks – everybody was saying, oh, MLB's ruining it for the NFL. MLB's ruining it for the NFL. I think the NFL is taking notes on what not to do. If you see an outbreak, contain. Like, you got to contain. Don't move. Like how – what was it? Philly went down there to Miami.
Yeah.
Then went back. A couple of Philly's coaches or whatever ended up getting
and then they ended up getting the Cards sick. I think that was the same little showing, but –
So they're learning on what not to do. I don't think it doesn't help that another major sport is just crumbling to COVID.
Well, the MLB is still pushing it. I mean, I don't really want to talk about the MLB, but they have not given up yet. They're just continuing to postpone Cards games. The Phillies and Marlins are back playing, so we'll see.
I mean, we will see, but I feel like that the NFL is taking notes and seeing what the NBA and the MLS is doing with containing, and then seeing that the MLB is just letting people fly around and not really doing too much of that trail picking up, whatever that terminology is.
Yeah.
Trying to track, trail tracking or whatever.
Something like
Trying
that.
to track it too much. But I feel like the NFL will be able to do a much better job just because the owners, I feel like, in the NFL are way more about that money than any other sport. So they're not trying to postpone games and have to make
They really
games.
can't postpone games.
Yeah.
I don't see how they would be able to.
Yeah.
What they need to do, honestly, is just tell players, like, you're getting tested as soon as you arrive on Friday or Saturday if they want to wait a day. And if you're there, if you're testing positive, you get sent home. And I don't care if it's Pat Mahomes or if it's Joe Schmo. You're gone. You failed the test because you test before you get on the plane, test when you land, and just no what's the word? Leeway, no leash. Like because they can't. Like the Marlins, you had like 4 tests and you can postpone the game because it's playable later, blah, blah. If you have 4 tests out of 55 players, you just got to say, hey, maybe you can postpone the game until Monday to make sure that they have another 24-hour cycle that nobody else got a positive test, but you got to play these games. Yeah.
And I definitely feel like we're going to have Saturday games eventually. I don't see a scenario where there's not at least one game that's postponed.
Yeah, but how are you going to make it up? You can't have double headers,
Well, yes.
Do things like that.
Or
they switch the bye to whatever.
We have 2 byes this year, do we not?
I think so, yeah.
So I feel like one of those byes are just going to have to get thrown out. But it'll happen. We're 3 weeks in now? The Chiefs and the Texans?
We're a month away. It's the 10th. Supposedly
3 weeks into training camp. Rookies have been there for almost a month now, it seems like.
Yeah.
And nothing too much, maybe a handful. But man, this season, I was looking earlier. When this season does start back, it's going to be crazy. A whole different, usually we have a couple players that switch here and there. This year is different, man. We got Nuke, you got your boy, Tom Brady.
The best players, too, are just gone, all over the place. It's crazy.
Cam Newton thrown out. Teddy Bridgewater's new. This guy, I don't even know who this guy is. But looks good in blue, whoever that guy is. This guy. Minnesota Vikings.
Jared Allen?
Stephon Diggs.
Oh.
He's in Buffalo now. My guy, Calais Campbell, Baltimore. Darius Slay, an Eagle. It's insane. It's absolutely crazy. Eric Ebron, a Steeler. It's just going to be so different this year. Phillip Rivers, can't wait to beat his ass twice this year.
Do you think – so we, of course, watch a lot of basketball as well. Do you think new players are as big of an issue for football? These super stud players, because when basketball, when you get a new player, a lot of times you go 500 for a month, have a tough time before you really get in the groove. Can football be easier to jump in and have Stephon Diggs jump right in and do well, or do you think it's going to take a few weeks to build chemistry?
No, I think they'll get that dealt with. I mean, for receivers, I feel like it's a lot easier to do because they can meet up with the quarterbacks on a high school field for hours upon hours a day and kind of get that chemistry going. But I feel like it would be more harder for these top-tier cornerbacks like Darius Slay going into a new system and just running Detroit for so long and just knowing all the pre-snaps, everything that he has to do just like that in his mind. Learning that, I feel like it's going to be a little bit of a hiccup, a little bit of a growing.
Do you think the coaches will, at least with Slay, just tell him, hey, for the first couple weeks while we're practicing and doing things, you're just man-marking their best receiver. We'll figure out the pre-snap reads and things if they're going to go zone, but
for sure,
he's an island cornerback anyway, so
yeah, definitely just stay working on your fundamentals and we'll get that playbook beat into your head coming up soon for sure. But that's those positions more so I feel like are going to be harder. Calais Campbell being the captain of the defense for the last 4 years in Jacksonville, going to Baltimore where he's not the guy on that line. It's just a line of freaking studs on defense now. So he doesn't have to really be the head coach of the line anymore, and he can just go out there and kind of attack the quarterback. So for him, I feel like that's going to be a lot easier. Stephon Diggs is the second strongest arm in the league, and Josh Allen. So that's going to be fun for him after dealing with Kirk Cousins' new alarm and what was the other guy? Crap. The miracle thrower. Got a contract and then did ass.
Nick Foles?
No.
Another one?
I can see his face, but I can't get it right now.
I don't know.
Dang it. He was the backup quarterback for the Vikings, and he went on the run. And he ended up signing. Oh, well. Anyways, it's going to be a lot easier for players like that to get it than, I'd say, Teddy Bridgewater probably more so coming back into fruition as the starting quarterback. It was Teddy Bridgewater's backup, man. I can't remember. But anyways, Teddy Bridgewater's going to be hard for him. But I think he's excited for the opportunity to be able to be the guy again. Years after his injury, coming back, showing in New Orleans that he can do it. But now people saying he's a 15 to 20-yard quarterback, a dink and dunker. So
yeah, but that's all they need, really.
They got a stud in DJ Moore, man.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, you're right. That does suit perfect for Carolina. Just throw it to Christian McCaffrey 2 yards behind the line of scrimmage and let him go to work.
Exactly.
So that'll be perfect. But no, I think it's going to be a great, exciting year. I don't think we're going to have too many hiccups and these stars going different places. Damn sure aren't going to have one down in Tampa, it looks like. That man's been throwing to them receivers for months now, and can't no COVID keep them down.
Right.
They just keep finding ways to work out with each other.
Let's talk about that for a second, because this was now a couple weeks ago, but we didn't talk about NFL last week. Cam Jordan came out and said he's pretty confident that the Bucs are fighting for second place because they have the second best quarterback of all time behind Drew Brees. And obviously that's what he needs to say. But the Saints have been the class for a few years now. Ever since the Falcons lost that Super Bowl, it's been the Saints that are just running it. Do you think Cam Jordan's right, or do you think he's just blowing a lot of smoke? Not with the quarterback thing, but that the Bucs are battling for second, and it's really the Saints division?
Yeah, he's absolutely right. The Saints aren't really too many moving pieces there. They have their starting quarterback. They have their running backs. Well, they don't have Mark Ingram, but they didn't have him last year.
Right.
They have Michael Thomas still. They have their defense. So they're bringing back, I'd say, about 80% of their roster. So why wouldn't they be? Tampa is new in every aspect but the receivers and their running back. So, yes, he's right. And that aspect, should he be concerned? Yes. Should he be as confident as he seems to be talking that way? No, not at all. You have arguably the best quarterback of all time. It's crazy that these two are in the same division now. This is going to be a hell of a year to see them two battle it out twice. But, yeah, I mean, he has to say that. Drew Brees is arguably top 3 quarterbacks of all time, depending on how you look at it. feel bad for the Joe Namaths and the Joe Montanas and all that stuff. You got
Yeah, this new era is just so quarterback friendly.
Yeah, you have this recency bias, and the numbers these guys are putting up are just absolutely insane. But it's not their fault that they used to have to run the ball 40 times a game.
Yeah.
Just do that and just hopefully get your numbers in the 15 times you pass it. But yeah, he's not wrong. This is the Saints division and has been for a couple of years now. And it seemed to be there's the year the Falcons went on that run and almost secured a Super Bowl.
Yeah.
But I think we're going to find out real soon what the Buccaneers are going to be. You have a vetted quarterback, you have vetted wide receivers, you got vetted tight ends. So that offense should be able to gel and cause some havoc on the field pretty early. You would think. You don't have a 5-year quarterback coming in who started a couple games and was hot, so now he's on a new team trying to make his name.
Right.
No, you have a guy who's been in the league for freaking 20 years, has rings for both hands. So there's no reason that they shouldn't come out firing on all cylinders and show Cam that he's dumb and just needs to close his mouth and try to play football.
There's a couple of points with Tom Brady, one positive and one negative. And I'll start with the positive just to be positive. This guy, he had Randy Moss for his record-breaking season in 2007, but he has never had a core like he's going to have. Mike Evans and Chris Godwin and Gronk, if Gronk can be 75% of prime Gronk. And then third down running backs like LaShawn McCoy who can catch. His offensive, even in 2007, it was not a full team like that. So he should be able to really find a lot of weapons, and if he can get the best out of Gronk. Godwin is very Wes Welkery. He can be in the slot and just get a lot of touches and make things happen with him. So I'm excited about that. But one negative is the AFC East has never had a pass rusher like Cam Jordan coming at Tom Brady. And we have seen that Tom Brady gets touched and he goes down. A lot of that's just safety in his own part. He's old as heck now, but he's going to take sacks, and I'm sure. And Cam Jordan is not scared of any offensive lineman, especially no offensive lineman that Tampa Bay has. So those two games, I'm a little worried that Brady, his average time before throw is usually the quickest in the league. And there's two reasons for that. One, he has a quick throw and he's a smart quarterback. But two is he does not want to get touched. And Cam Jordan's going to accelerate that time, and that scares me.
Yeah, you got some monsters down there. Was it the Bucks, Panthers, Saints, and
Falcons? But the Falcons don't really have a pass rush. So.
And they don't even have – who's Vic Beasley play for now? I just saw that he got fined. He hasn't showed up.
Oh, really?
The Titans, I think. I think Tennessee. Yeah, he hasn't showed up yet, so they fined him, I think, $300,000.
Wow.
Yeah.
But I'm happy. I think it's going to be one of our better years. So
you think?
Better be. I mean, who knows? He could look 40, you know?
At least you don't have Brad Johnson out there slinging the pigskin.
Yeah. Hey, Super Bowl winner, Brad Johnson. Yep, Super Bowl champ.
But, yeah, if I'm Tampa, man, I am excited. You've just gone – it seems like it – what was it, 2003?
2002. So, yeah, the Super Bowl was in 2003, but the 2002 season.
But it seems like it's been since then that you guys have just been the stumping grounds of the division and just looking up at everybody else. Yeah, the Panthers go on their run, Falcons going on their run, Saints staying consistent, and you guys just looking up like, what happened?
Yeah,
we just won a ring. But
yeah, we can't live off that ring for too long, man. We're going on 20 years.
It looks like you don't have to, man. I'm really excited for you guys. And like I said, I don't see any reason for you guys not to come out jumping on all cylinders. You have a hell of a coach in Bruce Arians. The only thing, I mean, you have Ronald Payne, who's really not a big running back. He's going to get you probably 600-700 yards on the ground.
Well, hopefully Bruce Arians takes some advice or some, I guess I'm going to say advice because I can't think of the other word, but from Bill Belichick coaching with Tom Brady. Tom Brady had a good running back, I think, 2 years out of his 17. I don't think he hardly ever had a 1,000-yard rusher except for Corey Dillon. So just do that. Run the two running backs. You have LaShawn McCoy, who will be like their James White. and then you have Payne who will just kind of get you 3 or 4 yards, hopefully when you need it. So we don't need a 150-yard rusher every game. We don't need a 1,500-yard rusher for the season. Just get your 65, 70 yards, make it reasonable, make sure that they are respecting the run. But aside from that, it's Tom Brady's spread offense, because that's what Bruce Arians does anyway. Bruce Arians doesn't really care about having a runner. So,
But Bruce Arians loves to run the ball. That seems to be like his MO. He wants to run it at least.
He's had some of the best running backs, though. He doesn't need to. We'll see.
Run the ball, first down, third down. I don't know. It's just he's definitely going to have to kind of take a little bit back of his coaching philosophy and let Tom do his thing. But man, I'm so excited for that. I can't believe
I'm excited too, and I hope to add a division title next to that UCF thing over there. Or a Super Bowl banner, actually, but at least a division title. I don't need a Super Bowl right now. I'd love it, but I'm not expecting year 1 to be a Super Bowl.
I do.
Hopefully, one of the 3 years he's here will be a Super Bowl, though. That'd be awesome.
I'm excited this year. Jaguars, they got a great chance, huge chance.
You think
Nuke's
so?
gone. Oh yeah.
Is Tennessee the class of that division right now? Is that who
Tennessee looks to be. I mean, it's usually Colts are really the standard, but Jacoby Brissett isn't kind of coming into fruition like everybody thought he would. He's having those injuries and whatnots. But yeah, it's usually the Titans really are coming out of nowhere. But it's usually like Houston or the Colts. Houston just doesn't seem to be able to get over that hump. And getting rid of their best offensive talent on the field isn't going to help them whatsoever. So I don't know what the thought process – I mean, I know it was all negative from Bill O'Brien, but thank you for being petty and shipping him off to Arizona,
yeah. Who is going to be – I think that's going to be a team to look out for, man.
They are definitely a big sleeper this year. It's just what are they going to do with their little 5'9" quarterback?
And the 49ers will probably still win that division. So it's going to be tough for – the wild card's going to be a crazy wild card in the NFC.
Arizona could get it with 10 wins. I definitely can see them getting 10 wins. It's just all up to Kyler. I mean, they have a great line. They have a great team. It's just –
But the 49ers should have at least 12 wins, so they'd be going for a wild card against an NFC – we assume an NFC South team that's also going to be around 10 wins. And those might be the 2 wild card teams, maybe a West and a South team.
Yeah, but I don't know, man. I feel like I know I'm a Jaguars fan, but there's so many moving pieces except in Tennessee. Tennessee's pretty much bringing back the same team, and they have a way better linebacker in Vic Beasley than 54's name. Oh, well, he's a bum. But yeah, so their defense is getting better this year and adding him. Their offense is pretty much the same. Just got to hope Derrick Henry can stay the king and run around. But I love Jacksonville, man. Bring it back. Pro Bowl wide receiver, bringing back a rookie of the year quarterback.
Okay.
Josh Allen should have been rookie of the year, but Nick Bosa ended up being in the same class. Even though Josh Allen had better numbers, Nick Bosa went to the Super Bowl and whatever. So yeah, I like what the Jaguars have, and we're getting a lot of disrespect in everywhere. NFL.com has us the 32nd team. ESPN's power ranking have us as 32nd. Yeah, Cincinnati's a better power ranking than us, and they're projected to have more wins than us this year. So is Miami.
Your defense took a hit, right? I mean, Josh Allen is going to take a step up, but the rest of your defense kind of took a hit, losing Calais, losing some of your guys.
But we just got Joe Schobert from the Browns. He's our new middle linebacker, which frees up Miles Jack back on the outside. It helps out a lot. I'm not really too concerned. Calais was our big guy. He went to the inside whenever Josh Allen kind of blossomed, which kept Taven Bryan on the sideline, which I liked a lot. Because Taven Bryan's just kind of a run stopper, even though he was supposed to be this big pass rusher coming out of Florida.
Yeah.
He's just overpaid run stopper. And so that's going to be the big thing for me. What is Taven Bryan going to be able to do now that he's going to be playing a lot of snaps at the defensive tackle position? I'm fine. Avery Jones is still there. We still got Smoot. We have good defensive ends, but Calais Campbell took a lot of the shine away from that team. But yeah, our defensive line never really is a problem. We usually have somebody that's around 8 to 10 sacks every season. It's just more so our secondary. Trey Herndon's going into his 3rd season, and he looks good. We got C.J. Henderson, just drafted him. So Trey's not going to have to guard the best wide receiver on the team every single game, every single snap anymore, which is going to help him and free him up because he's a great cornerback. He's just really young and he's a ball hawk. He isn't too disciplined. He's always looking for the ball, so he seems to get burnt whenever these wide receivers twist their hips. He's trying to break on it, and they just go by him. So a lot of discipline he needs to learn, but I like the nucleus we have. I don't understand what the NFL is talking about, or NFL.com and ESPN.
Yeah, 32nd is ridiculous.
Projections and power rankings and stuff. Because, I mean, Gardner Minshew was one of the best rookie quarterbacks to ever play the game. His numbers are absolutely insane. He holds a lot of rookie quarterback records in the NFL and for the Jaguars organization, which Byron Leftwich was our rookie quarterback sensation. So not really too much comparison there. But I like what we have. We still got Fournette. This is his last year, it seems like. We didn't extend his contract, so this is his final year. This is his contract year, so I expect great things from him. D.D. Westbrook is going in. Last year was going to be his year, but DJ Shark kind of took that from him. So I feel like he's going to be stupid hungry. And I think the ceiling's the limit for us, man. It's all up to us. It's all up to our offensive line. Jawan Taylor needs to come out and be better. He was great last year for us, but that's really my only knock, really, is see what our secondary does, and hopefully our offensive line can give Gardner some time to do something besides run left and right and throw the ball down the field 5 seconds later.
The ceiling is the roof, dog.
The ceiling is the roof with the Jaguars. I agree. We are only as big as our cage allows us.
So I was going to try to see what the odds were for a Tampa Bay Jacksonville Super Bowl, and we could make a whole bunch of money, but it is not letting me parlay these two for some reason. Oh, because I'm picking Super Bowl to win. Oh, that makes sense.
That would
All
be
right.
amazing.
So Tampa Bay to win the Super Bowl is plus 850. The Jags are plus 17,500. What?
See, bro? Disrespect.
I didn't even know that was a real number. I thought it was 1750, but no, it was 17,500.
500. So if
Might
I
as well
put
put
$1
100 on
down,
that bad boy. Shoot.
put $1 down and win a stack.
They are the worst. That's so crazy.
It's insane, dude. So much disrespect. So much disrespect. We got Clavon Chason. There we go. Clavon Chazon's going to come in and take Calais Campbell's spot on the defensive end, I think. He's a defensive end, outside linebacker kind of guy. But there's no such thing as an outside linebacker anymore. You're either a defensive end or you're standing up in defensive end. So,
Wow, that's so crazy. I'm still surprised.
dude, it's absolutely insane. I mean, we only won 6 games last year, but there was 4,
Let's see if I can parlay
5,
these two.
6. We were the 7th pick last year. So there were 6 teams worse than us. We filled up some holes. Calais is gone. We got Clavon. Jalen's gone. Trey Herndon wasn't up to par for that. So we got C.J. Henderson. I don't get it.
The selected wagers cannot be combined. What kind of crappy? Yeah, they can. So I picked Tampa Bay to win the NFC and Jacksonville to win the AFC. And it's not letting me put a bet on it, but it's plus 60,500. So if that's the Super Bowl, plus 60,000. Just put $1 and win $6,000, man. That'd be nice.
Mm-hmm.
But it won't let me bet on it, so we have to actually look into call them a backdoor book. But
Uh-oh.
it's okay.
I don't want to lose many of my fingers or toes, bro.
The site I used didn't even have Super Bowl odds for some reason. It had MVP odds and all that, but I couldn't find the Super Bowl odds.
Is FanDuel good?
I can't do it. I'm in California. You can't do it either.
Really?
Yeah, it's only for like Indiana, New Jersey, Vegas, obviously, or Nevada, obviously, and like one other, Colorado, I think.
What? Okay, that's weird.
It's funny because like Bovada and MyBookie and all those, you can still do it. But
Yeah.
I think that's because they give you that offshore check. I don't think it's based in America and it's not necessarily legal. But the FanDuel Sportsbook, you can't do, at least in California. I've tried, but I've heard it's the best one.
Yeah, I hear good things about it. That's stinks.
It's all right. Voting's coming up in a couple months. We'll have sports betting on the ballot. 2021, we'll be able to do it. Pretty sure. So
Gosh, I don't even want to talk about that.
the only thing they're fighting right now is who should be able to host sports betting in California. The casinos want it to be casinos only, which are, of course, ran by Native Americans. So the powers that be that run the internet sites obviously don't want that because they also want to be able to make money. So I hope it's not casinos only because I don't want to have to drive to a casino just to put a sports bet in. But I'd rather have that than driving to Vegas to put a sports bet in. So
Yeah. So y'all do have casinos in California?
yeah, it's just they only do slots and card games.
That's how it is here.
But they're trying to get sports betting in those. I want sports betting to be like the lottery where I can go to the gas station and pay for that list and bring it home.
I do not want it to where I can just sit on my phone and place bets.
I do.
Coming
I do.
right out of my account.
It's
And not
hard,
having
man,
to do
to
any
do.
back
You
and
have to
forth.
have a guy in Nevada right now, and
That's what I'm saying.
I'm only a few hours from Nevada, so from Vegas I'm like 6 hours, but from the state line where they have a casino at that you can sports bet, it's only like 4 hours. But it's just who wants to do that?
Yeah, all land.
All desert land too. It's terrible. It's terrible.
So when I went through the Keys, man, that was nice. I actually thought like the opposite of driving through a desert, and I would.
Yeah.
All I could see was water.
But you
Just
stopped
water.
at the first key, right?
It was awesome, and we went. I think it was like it was the one right before Marathon.
Gotcha.
Long Key, actually.
Key Lonky?
Long Key.
Oh, I was like, Key Lonky. Shooey.
But yeah, right before that is where I saw the little private island
Mm.
that I want to get silky.
That's awesome, man. So, and then we're going to have the Silky Seals for our
Smoothies.
sports team.
Silky smoothies.
Yeah, but for our sports team, we'll have like
The Long Key Seals.
long Key Seals.
And we'll have to get a really narrow stadium. It'll be like 10 yards long, 10 yards wide.
Is there just a little like a little
No,
tiny
there's a state park that's like right at the tip. It's pretty wide. I mean, I just stayed in the resort the whole time
That's
until
pretty
we went jet skiing. But
Nice. All right. What else do we have sports related, man? There's not much going on this week except the Suns dominating, but we talked about that.
Yeah, not really. I'm not gonna do that.
You're going to talk
Wrestling
about
is fake. Wrestling is garbage.
It's not garbage. It is fake, but it's not garbage.
I'm just really mad that I thought that crap was real for a week and a half.
Dude, we used to go to those wrestling matches in Alabama, like in those backwood real wrestling and backyard wrestling in Alabama with my cousins and my aunt. That junk was ridiculous, bro. Ridiculous. It was hilarious.
The Kimbo Slice backyard brawls for the white man.
But it was fake. I mean, it was,
yeah, way back. Those were huge. I wish that Vice TV show. I wish they had those back in the day covering those because those things used to be big and,
yeah.
and nasty, man. Was it on MTV late nights back in the day?
I don't know. It was on like YouTube or something, but yeah, I think a channel grabbed it and was showing them.
Yeah, that stuff was crazy.
Yeah, it was.
But yeah, man, not too much. We have basketball. I'm ready for football.
Absolutely. Well, I'm ready for the Suns to continue winning. I'm ready to go watch Memphis and Portland here in a minute and hope that the Suns have a chance to jump into the 9 spot tomorrow with a win. So, hey, man, and whatever you do, make sure you're like the Suns, that you have that attitude that even though everyone's counting you out, you're the only team that can choose your destiny, like you said earlier. And they're doing everything they can. If they end up not making it, hey, so be it. But they're doing everything in their power to do that. And that's how you need to attack life. That's how you need to attack every challenge. Don't listen to the naysayers that are saying you don't belong. Just go out there and prove why you belong. And as always, be a stud, not a scrub.